I would like to now call this meeting, November 12th, of the Sustainability Commission to order. Betty, can you please read the roll?
Alderperson Quigley.
Here.
Commissioner Black.
Here.
Commissioner Henry Gillis.
Here.
Commissioner Lawton.
Here.
Commissioner Slavin.
Here.
Commissioner Van Schindel.
Here.
Commissioner Weber.
Here.
Advisor Metzler.
Here.
Public comment upon matters not on the agenda. Comments made during the public comment period shall pertain only to matters under the jurisdiction of the Sustainability Commission. Is there any public comment?
I have something I want to say. The Green Bay Wild Ones group has a grant program that is available to residents throughout the area, and they are looking for people. Applications are due in February.
Is there any other public comment? And for the third time, is there any public comment? All right, so moving on to our action items. First, the approval of October 8th, 2024 Sustainability Commission meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. Second discussion on, yes,
Can you take a roll call?
we need to take a roll call.
Vote. Yep.
Yep,
Commissioner Black.
here,
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Yes or no?
yes.
Commissioner Henry Gillis.
Yes.
Commissioner Lawton.
Here.
Commissioner Slavin.
Yes.
Commissioner Van Schindel.
Yes.
Commissioner Weber.
Yes.
Commissioner Quigley.
Yes.
Alderperson Quigley.
Fine, either way.
All right. All right, moving on. Discussion on carbon monoxide detectors for local schools.
Yes, Noah Wentland, the Director of Buildings and Grounds from the Unified School District of De Pere, had agreed to attend today's meeting. It looks like it may have slipped his mind as he's not currently in attendance. Staff will reach back out to Noah to see if he can make a future meeting to discuss the carbon monoxide detector needs for the Unified School District of De Pere. Staff does have more info to bring to the commission today. We met with Notre Dame Academy of De Pere this morning. Yeah, days flying by. They would also be interested. They have 2 science rooms where they have science experiments, a kitchen that could potentially use room monitors, and then he's meeting with his HVAC consultant to determine if there are carbon monoxide monitors in the air return system in general. So staff will reach back out to the director of their facilities and grounds to see what needs he has, and then we'll bring forth his information, and he may even come to a future meeting to discuss his school. So more to come on that, and then we'll effort getting Noah back at a future meeting.
If he shows up, are we gonna like jump back to him?
Sure.
You do that.
Any other comment or discussion on that item? All right, moving along. Consideration and possible action on clean air initiative.
So the intent of this item is to allow discussion on the next steps, any updates on the Clean Air Initiative, observations, feedback that the commissioners have received at the local school districts. Included with the memo today is the newsletter that's been previously discussed and the email to the superintendents that staff would send looking for their consideration and approval on submitting and sharing the newsletter amongst the district to their students and parents about no idling at the schools. I think Commissioner Van Schindel had a question to staff regarding this.
Yeah, I was just thinking that in the email, if we had a specific call to action that we want the principals to then take so that we can maybe add a recommendation. So if we want them to include it in a school newsletter or however we want them to get this out to students and parents, maybe add some recommendations in there so that they don't really have to think about what the next step is for them.
In my last sentence in my email, we could put, I appreciate you taking the time to review the attached newsletter and including it in a future newsletter corresponding to your students and parents throughout the district.
How about the next?
The next?
We look forward to seeing it in the next.
Yeah, is that what we want them to do with it, is included in a newsletter?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they've done before.
Is there anything else that we think could help get the message out outside of a newsletter that we could? I'm not super familiar with, what all the options are, but
Here it is, teeing it up. What do you think, student advisor? What could we do to help get the word out?
I think like bringing attention to the kids during the school day, and then they go home and tell their parents most often. Or I like the newsletter idea because I think parents dropping off their kids are people that usually are reading the newsletter. And I know myself, I don't really look at the newsletter each day through the school, but I just think sometime in school or something that the kid that they take the time out of their day to acknowledge it.
What do you think about someone coming in like me and talking about this with the students?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to acknowledge the problem and really show what the causes are.
So requests to, or offer to come to the school,
Right.
or a permission to reach out to teachers to see if we can come to the school and speak on it.
are there different types of sustainability clubs or something through, I remember there used to be,
De Pere High School has one.
do they, yeah, is there, you know what I mean, where there's already a teacher sponsor and there's already a group of kids that are interested in it?
We worked with the Clean and Green Club at the high school over there, and that's great and all. And Hope actually had helped us when we were allowed to be in the parking lot talking with parents when Emily and I went. However, that's just a very small group.
Yeah.
And I feel like going into, say, the science classroom or economics or whatever, you're going to reach a lot more students who might not necessarily even have an interest in this. So I love that you brought that up because it's getting my brain going, because that's what I would like to offer, is that we go in and talk to them and share. Try to get other kids interested besides ones who are innately, they're already interested. So.
I remember you saying that there are hurdles with just nobody, no Joe Schmo can just go, go in and talk. But I wonder, I can take this newsletter and share it with PTO.
Yes, that's where I think it needs to go, is to the PTO.
Yeah, maybe we just somebody's popular over there.
Yeah, Randall, he's super popular.
Yeah, I've reached out to them before too. Yeah. So yeah, we could send the letter to them. I was shocked because maybe the PTO can send it out. I just know that their monthly meetings are really small. She told me there's only 5 or 6 people.
Well,
Yeah, but those are people who have a passion for PTO.
True.
So they have a passion for their kids.
And then it kind of they already have some authority to go talk to people, right? Maybe they have something that
They have a little bit of an in, you're saying? Yeah,
they got some clout
Yeah.
that if they pick up on the issue and want to run with it, cool.
Yeah. I think giving them a stack of bumper stickers also is a good idea, because today I did pick up and I had to park and walk, and in line there were 5 cars running, and I was like, I'm too scared to knock on the window and talk to you, but yeah.
Yeah, I just keep thinking when we talked last time, we didn't really have a clear understanding of the feedback and if it the newsletter made it beyond where we wanted it to. So I'm just trying to think through can we make some easy recommendations that they know what the next steps we want them to take are. So whether that's include it in a newsletter, we want to speak to XYZ, whatever that is.
Do we actually need their permission to reach out to teachers? I've reached out to teachers without their permission before.
Yeah, why can't I could take this to my daughter's teacher?
Yeah,
Or
but
is
are
there
they
a sign
allowed
we
to?
could
Yeah,
put on the school grounds, little
They didn't really
billboards?
favor that too much.
No.
Even though it's public property, it's still school property, so they have control over
We tried.
the messaging that gets placed there.
Because the ultimate goal, you want this to get to parents, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think the least path of resistance
Yeah.
to get to parents through the right avenues. And I don't have the answers. I'm just asking questions to think it through.
No, I think that that's fantastic. I would definitely say that reaching out to the teachers, seeing if we can come into the classroom, share the city's initiative and what we're doing. But I don't think we need their approval for that, to reach out to a teacher to say, can I come into your classroom? What do you think, Chase?
I think on the end of my email, I want to ask if there's a forum that we'd be able to come in and speak to and just get the superintendent's thoughts
Yeah, that's a good idea.
and
Like an assembly.
see what we get for a response
Yep.
in general.
Yeah.
Can I throw out a suggestion as a
Yeah.
former teacher? I think any one of us can approach any of the teachers if you want to. I think it's not necessarily a conversation as an official member of the Sustainability Commission, but as an individual or as a parent, you can say, hey, there's this thing going on and, what can we do to get the word out? I
Right.
think that would be important. And then my next suggestion is there a conversation to be had with administrators if they don't want us in the parking lot and they don't want us to post a sign? Is there a sort of an in-between communication way that we're not seeing or we're not thinking of? Because I think if we just kind of restate, we've tried this and you said, no, we've tried a sign and you're not crazy about that. So I would love to see it go home in emails and go through the PTO or through newsletters, but I still feel like that's kind of invisible messaging. I would like to have something that's a tangible, physical thing. Yeah. And Emily, you said you put signs, or you had signs available for people in the neighborhoods around?
Yeah, Betty does.
Betty had done that?
I think we made 20 of them in-house, and then 10 of them did go out to residents. I think 10 of them are still at the office
Okay.
that could go out.
And that wouldn't be for school grounds, but that's if somebody's got a
neighboring
property
properties,
that's
yeah.
nearby. Okay.
Yeah, we tried. We had like a whole ring around Dickinson of those signs in people's yards.
Not so much.
My kids go to an elementary school here, and we get a monthly email from the school. I don't know if it's a newsletter or what it is, but they always have.
A ton of stuff in it that it's
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my fear about
That's
it going
the
in
thing.
the newsletter is
Yeah.
that like we get a weekly communication and I ignore so much stuff. I'm like, yeah, because it's just like a huge block of text.
But again, it might reach the ones
Yeah.
that read it.
Yeah.
Similar to the PTO. If it's 5
Yeah.
people there, if it reaches some.
Just Shayna's on the PTO, right? Why can't we get like in her ear? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think adding to the email, asking for the best way that the commission can.
And I'll throw in
Right
examples like
messaging.
PTO and Clean and Green Club just to maybe get his brain going or their
Yeah.
brains going. But yeah, I'll leave it. Maybe they have recommendations too.
I would think that we all individually, outside of being on the commission, have relationships with teachers or people who work at area schools. Maybe we all go have those conversations and see if we glean any information, because I would bet you the staff would have some good ideas, and maybe it's not one thing, maybe it's many things, different by school. But maybe if we all go out and have those conversations and see what we can learn about the best way, because I would bet elementary on up to high school it's going to look different as well.
So I just going back to the point that I've many times contacted teachers just through my program, and we can do that, and we can offer to go into classroom and talk. Are we saying that we don't want to approach it that way because it's a city thing, or?
I have no concerns over what way we approach it. I don't think we'll get like a school assembly by any means, but yeah, if a teacher's okay with you entering their classroom to speak and the school district isn't opposed, yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and my comment, I didn't mean to discourage anyone, but again, if you're having a conversation, say, this is what we want to do, you're not necessarily speaking for the entire Sustainability Commission, but you as a member of the commission can say, here's this, this idea that's been out there for a year and it's not getting the traction we would like. So
Yeah.
absolutely have those conversations.
Okay. All right, well, any other further comment or discussion?
In general, we perceive this as important. We've been at it for a long time. We've talked to them. my input would be start confronting, literally. Just say, hey, why can't you get something done with this? Your students are being hurt by this. And if we have to go to the parents, we'll do it. And see if they respond.
I feel like the confronting has to be like more like what you were saying, that we need to talk to the people we know, that kind of confronting. Because I feel like your confronting is good, but it's aggressive.
Yes.
I agree, and I love it. I just, I don't know.
They can hide behind, oh, well, we don't let you do this, we don't
Yeah.
let you do that, and that's
know.
because they don't want to go through some process to let you do that.
Yeah.
And yet, we all have agreed, and they agreed that this is kind of important and should be done.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate goal, right, is how I'm perceiving it. The goal is we want to educate the school and parents who are the ones driving their kids to school on what this is. And then they would have to take action on doing something about it, right? So if what we want is help to get the messaging out there, and then you can't make a parent turn their car off, right? You can
ask nicely.
Or you can educate them, and then they can make the choice themselves. So really that's what we're trying to do. I just keep coming back to like, what's the outcome we're trying to get from it? We're trying to get education to parents, right?
It is, but a large part of that is getting the superintendent's buy-in.
Yeah.
And any pushback.
That's how we think our
in
avenue
any
to
shape or
message
form
it.
is hindering, which has been, how much buy-in are you going to give us? What are you going to let us do? It's all on them.
Yeah. Well, and I just keep thinking too, if at some point what we're doing isn't working, then what's the other way, or is there a different way to get the same message across? Right?
Get more aggressive.
Well,
Be more aggressive.
I'm not really aggressive, so I don't know how to do that. But I get what you're saying, right? If what we're doing isn't working, then how else can we do it? And we just have to, I think, take the feedback. And if we don't get anything back, then that is the feedback. then we
go to other sources,
Is
like
there-
PTO or other people.
Is there potential to have the health department make a comment, a statement about it as well? Something that we
Sure, they
could,
would.
that
this
might
is
be
a
an
program
easier.
backed with EPA, right?
Yeah, I just am thinking it's in tandem with other messaging we're doing, if just that might get parents, if they're hearing about it from more than just a newsletter, maybe if there's something that we could do that way.
I completely agree. I think if we're not getting the action that you guys want from on school grounds, where are other places that parents are with their kids, without their kids, that would see it? Parks, grocery stores, those sorts of places that might not be as restrictive on what they're willing to post.
That's a good point.
Meaning, like, see if we could get festival to put signs up about this, something on that order.
Yeah.
Or some places, I know like Piggly Wiggly, sometimes they'll have like their sheets of paper that they'll throw in your paper bags as they're bagging your groceries, like just things like that.
I like that.
In their utility bills.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just want to keep doing a bunch of effort to get nothing from it.
Yep.
So I think those are great ideas.
I'll reach out to the health department and the parks department.
Oh, there we
have
go.
access to their social media. We can coordinate through that.
That'd be awesome.
In my position, I do have a professional relationship with the school districts I gotta maintain. So while I can't necessarily be aggressive, I can up my quantity instead of my volume. So we can follow up with them a bunch and be more annoying on that end of things. So yeah, we'll pursue all those routes and we'll feedback, I guess, in January when we next meet.
Yeah.
The action item for us is each one of us try to reach out to someone we know, because we all have some sort of nexus.
Love it.
Because I know you guys had boots on the ground, but none of us really have. So.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right. Coming for you, Mrs. Van Offeren.
So
Any-
we need a action on this to approve the newsletter, because we forgot to put this as an action item last time. And the email with the change with the call to action. Looking forward to seeing it in the next newsletter. And is there a forum, i.e. the PTO or Clean and Green Club, that we could necessarily reach out to discuss this in the future? So with that, we'll leave it open for a motion.
I make a motion to accept what you just said.
I second that.
I need those Robert's rules of order.
Yeah. Can we just clarify, so
Yeah, please.
So you are
said it good.
approving
a newsletter,
newsletter and the email with the changes with the new calls to action that we discussed.
Yes.
thank you.
We had a motion and a second. Now we need a roll call vote.
Alderperson Quigley,
Aye.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Henry Gillis,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawton,
Aye.
Commissioner Slavin,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Schindel,
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
All right, moving along to consideration and possible action on composting services reimbursement.
Yes, so the Common Council sent this back to the Sustainability Commission. The fear on the council level was we had the language in the letter referencing that we'd reimburse 50% of the composting services fees throughout the year of 2025. The Common Council felt that was almost an open check for Greener Bay Compost and then up their rates, and then the city would be locked in having to quickly follow with that 50% rate, regardless of what that fee would be. The recommendation from council was then to put a hard number on it. Currently, the rates are $9 per month and $15 per month if we were to reimburse that 50%. So we'd lock that in annually, send the letter with the current rates. This is what we'd reimburse. If they were to up their fees moving forward, we would then reflect that with the next year's program. So the change in the letter reflects the current $9 and $15 per month that we're reimbursing, which is 50% of their current rates, and then we'd reevaluate annually. So with that, we would just need any discussion and then action to approve the new letter to send that out to residents.
On the mailer, number 2, under what this means for you, I would recommend saying the city will reimburse subscription fees quarterly to you, or the city will reimburse to you, just to clarify that the resident is the one getting reimbursed, not any other way, just to make sure there's no confusion.
We'll add language that will mail the check directly to you. Is that
Perfect.
how it goes?
Can't wait to get one of these.
My fake signature on the bottom.
It's so good. Did you have to do a thing and then it made it a JPEG? Did you have to sign? Oh no.
I used Betty and she's magnificent.
Yeah. I've tried to do those and they look bad every time, so.
So any other further comment or discussion? And then we need to make a motion. Take a vote.
Make a motion to approve with the added verbiage about mailing the check directly.
I second that.
I have a question real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. At these deadlines where they need to submit to be reimbursed, if we have the list of everybody who's in the program, are we sending a reminder email or anything to them, or it's just on them to?
It'd be on them to.
Unless it's Emily, then I might email her.
I don't have everybody's email. I
You
just
just
have
know
mailing
me.
address, and
I'll be there,
That is
ready.
it.
But you would have emails if you said if you're interested in
yes.
continuing your service, we ask that you email
Good point.
me directly to reserve your spot.
Currently, I do not have emails. In the future, I hope to gain them as they register.
So is it possible to send out a reminder email so that people don't miss that deadline?
For those that, that.
And then can we add that in here that we will send one reminder email or something?
I don't think that needs to be in the letter. I think we can just
No.
do that. You can make that as part of your recommendation, and that's 2 seconds on my end to get
Okay.
that out. 1 second for Betty. She's even
I'm just thinking about myself, right? I'd be like, oh, I can't do this because I will never remember to reimburse that. I don't remember to pay my water bill unless I get the email of the bill.
That's an easy social media post too, quarterly, that we can get out to. Hey, remember to get your composting invoices.
Okay, sorry.
I'm stewing over all of it a little bit, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just wondering if he's still going to continue in De Pere, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I I'm just worried, like, we're gonna send this out, and then he's gonna be like, I'm done with you guys, and then another letter has to go, and I'm worried about that.
He, yeah, in talks with John, he has no intentions of leaving the city.
Okay.
His frustrations, I think, are more with staff and our processes on invoicing him. It's a lot of money up front for him on a monthly basis to have these invoices then wait for us to reimburse in a couple weeks. So he's
Okay.
looking to remove that strain, be paid now from the resident quicker, and then we reimburse on that end. And then a little less admin on his end of things too, having to correspond with me and provide weights and invoices. And
Okay. The only other thing I would say, for point number 1, there should be no change, like if you wished, was the wording about if you wish to continue your service? I thought I read that.
number 3.
Number 3.
Okay. You could still continue the service and choose not to get reimbursed, so I don't know if that needs to be clarified. Like, if you wish to continue getting reimbursement or something, or just clarify, like, your service can continue no matter what. That's the only thing else.
So change the wording of number 3 if you are
Interested in
interested in
reimbursement.
continuing
You're
to get,
interested in the
yeah.
reimbursement. Yep.
And then, to Commissioner Weber's point, is there, what if it did end? Is there anything in this that we need to put in there saying we'll continue as long as whatever?
I don't think we worry about it.
If it ended as in he stopped servicing to Pere, or
The reimbursement.
Just like any other
Yeah.
business
Oh, no.
ending, right?
It's not funded in
yeah.
2026, then we
Okay.
have to notify people,
Yeah.
but I think that was discussed when we
You're off
talked
now.
about the letter the last time, is that we weren't going to add wording that it was only for this year, and then continue to put it in the budget, and at the time that it maybe wasn't approved, then we would need to address that with the residents.
Okay.
Just to brainstorm though, if services discontinued, didn't we say that there was one like in Door County or something maybe? And maybe that we'd cross that bridge if it.
I have the list on my desk. I don't remember them offhand.
That's not relevant.
I didn't
to
have
this
questions.
Who's the nearest composting service that could potentially fill the void?
Oh. Nobody. There's nobody within a radius that would service De Pere. There are ones down in Milwaukee, Madison, Stevens Point that I found, but nothing really in our area.
All right, so we were going to take a,
We would need a new motion due to the new change to number 3. So the changes to the letter are as follows. Number 2 has we'll mail the check directly to you to indicate that we're reimbursing the residents directly. And then number 3, the first sentence would change to, if you are interested in the reimbursement for these composting services through Greener Bay Compost, ...
I think we can just have Nicole and Janie say they agree to the amendments,
okay.
and we'd be fine without doing a full
Agree
new
to the
motion.
amendments.
I agree to the amendments.
Okay.
And then we'll do a roll.
Yep.
Okay.
Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Henry Gillis,
Hi.
Commissioner Lawton,
Aye.
Commissioner Slavin,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Schindel,
Aye.
Commissioner Weber,
Yes.
Alderperson Quigley.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Discuss clean energy work plan updates.
Just the opportunity to discuss any updates for the Clean Energy Work Plan. On staff side of things, we got feedback from the Green Tier legacy communities. They've put a deadline now on their annual kind of summary for those communities that are part of the Green Tier program. And then that summary is tied to some grant funding. It's not clear in what way. Like stormwater ponds, you'd get special consideration if you have your applications submitted on an annual basis on time. What that means yet, we don't know. Currently, we are not submitting the application and summary to Green Tier for all our energy, so we just don't have the staff time to tackle that as a whole. So we're still evaluating that. We'll probably reach out to the DNR to get better understanding of what that wording means for special consideration. But with that, I'll leave it open to the commission now to discuss any updates on your end of things.
No updates. You'll get more out of me in January. I promise.
What was that?
You'll get more out of me in January when I'm graduated.
Congrats.
Yes.
The CA Lawton Company in the Industrial Park in East De Pere is a Green Tier 2 certification. And Green Tier 2 is, De Pere is a Green Tier 1, I think, has that advocacy rating. The Green Tier 2 takes what organizations do a whole lot further. And if this commission would be interested in spending a few minutes with the people from Lawton who oversee that to explain to them what it is that it's done and how they've reacted to it and what they've done to lower their green footprint, if you will, over the past few years, how they won this capability, because they had some pretty rigorous application. We were the first foundry that did this in the state. I'm sure I could get my son to give us someone who can talk to us about that, or if it was really important, I could. They said you should come out and see this, but I don't know that that would be that important. I think he might be able to come in for part of our commission meeting at some point and explain what it is and the meaning of it. My reason for talking about it is we've got how many other businesses in the city of De Pere, certainly 100 or more, that have the possibility of doing this. Now, that's a kind of a heavy industrial capability out there, but many, many businesses are doing certain things like that, and I don't know how well they're being managed in terms of being a Green Tier 2 organization, but it might be something we can look at and say, gee, we could reach out to the businesses in the city of De Pere and have them impact that. If we got 5 more of them to do this, we might see the impact of our efforts being quite substantial, is what I'm getting at, all right?
Is that something that we might want to do, like as a city event, or just an event, like where we invite them and we have someone speak? And
You could do it at the farmer's market, for that matter, but it'd be better to do it at the chamber or something
community
on that
center.
order, I think.
Yeah, I think it'd be best to start here. To follow
yeah,
this up, I'll send you an email if there's a date in the future that works for you to have them present at the commission. We'll get you on the agenda, and then from there, maybe we do open it up to a public forum at the community center.
Okay.
It would be great to share that information on our sustainability page online, too. I mean, I would love to know what businesses have, I know this is off topic from this, but I think sharing that would be wonderful for people who care about it.
well, and to invite that vested interest
Exactly.
in what we're trying to do, I think would be awesome.
But they went from Green Tier 1 to Green Tier 2 at some point, maybe 3 years ago or something like this. And
Great.
it gets to a point where you've proven that your systems are so good that you self-report to the DNR, as opposed to having them come in and audit you on a consistent basis, but you're reporting constantly about how you're doing. And there are probably penalties if you misreport, if you will, but that's not the way the system works for the most part.
We'll get in touch. I'll get you on the agenda.
Okay.
Any other further comment or discussion? All right, consideration and possible action on Adopt a Drain incentive program.
Okay, so this is something that's been talked about for a few different meetings about the adopted drain. So I came up with a few different ideas of what other communities are doing for us to consider. The most common one that I saw was that communities offered a startup kit, and it varied by community, but for the most part it included like a bucket, a dustpan, broom, some of them had rakes, gloves, whether that was reusable or disposable or both, a safety vest or a bright colored shirt, Some of them did a welcome packet, and some others offered a paper cleanup reporting form. Some of the startup kits also had yard signs, stickers, stencils, window clings. A lot of the communities, if they did a stencil, the community went out and did the stenciling. It wasn't provided, it wasn't chalked, it was spray painted on. And then often with the stencil annually, they would send out an email, hey, do you need more supplies? Hey, does your stencil need to be refreshed? Another option is an annual recognition event. So this would be something that the city would host an appreciation event for the volunteers. It is something that could possibly be grouped through with the police department when they honor their or appreciate their crossing guards. They're pretty much the only other volunteers the city has at this time that is a larger group. So it would be an option to do that. There's different levels. It could be an invitation for just a volunteer, a +1, whole family. The one location I did talk to extensively about this is Superior. They pretty much allow the volunteer to bring as many people as they want, but then the volunteer was the only one that got a raffle ticket and a voucher for the food and things like that. I do have a contact for the crossing guard, for the who in the police department oversees the crossing guards, so that would be another option. The other thing is that Superior did theirs in conjunction with public concert. It could be something we could talk to the Parks Department if we wanted to go this route and have it during a beer garden event. So they have the food trucks there, they have the concert there, that we could talk with their food truck vendors to provide a voucher that the city would then reimburse the $5 or whatever it was. Another option that has been discussed, and I was only, I'm kind of modeling it off of just one location that I found, a tiered recognition program. Kind of made my own options on it a little bit. Some of them are replicating the other one, but it would simply be we would set different levels that they would have to meet criteria for, and then once they met that criteria, they would get the incentive or the prize. So like in this case, level 1 is a sticker or a window cling. A level 2 would be like a themed tote bag that they can use, say, for grocery shopping. Level 3 would be a baseball cap or a beanie, a t-shirt at level 4, and maybe a plaque at City Hall or Municipal Service Center or something if they've done an extensive number of years of service. Another option is a referral program. I only found a referral program out of one location in Illinois. They have only had one person take advantage of it.
Oh, man.
It would kind of, maybe it would go over better depending upon what the prize was that you're trying to get. But I only did find one referral program.
It's too bad, because I've tried really hard to get people to do this program.
And just another option, doesn't necessarily need to be the only thing we do, but having a volunteer spotlight where each month or quarterly pick one of the people that is participating in Adopt a Drain and spotlight them on our social media just to highlight their good deeds. So I don't have any real recommendation on how we would proceed. These are just the options I found. There's many other options that could be considered. I did put in the packet as well just some mocked up bucket stickers, some bumper stickers, and some yard sign ideas, along with, I think, a copy of what Superior has out for their volunteer invitation to the recognition event. So,
Do you want me to put them up on the screen? I can scroll through them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Where does the QR code go to?
the QR,
Probably our sign up.
it's not an official QR code because it's not from the city. I just did the left click, make a QR code
Okay.
of our city webpage. It is for the city webpage for Adopt a Drain, though.
Okay.
So I think the startup kit's pretty key. Like, I think that would be huge for people. I like the referral program because, again, I think we're, like, with the farmers market and everything, like, we are the ones going out talking to people about this event. So, I mean, it's probably not fair that we would be the ones that refer people to the program, but, like, I don't know. I always like referrals. I like the volunteer spotlight. I like the recognition, but why can't we recognize them here and us clap for them? Yay, thank you for helping us.
With the startup kit, I'm just like thinking practically. Do you think when people clean the storm drains, do they actually put stuff in a bucket?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah,
Not
you-
like a garbage bag or something like that?
Oh, I guess that's a good thing. We ask them to do it in a bucket. Like our video that we're going to watch is
Yep.
telling them to do it in a bucket. We say, I think, when you sign up that like you can't put it on the yard right above.
Yep. And then the dustpan and broom, like you're actually dusting and putting stuff in. Do you ever use like a grabber? You know, like those like extended
Like a trash
picture
grabber?
Yeah,
things?
that'd be a good idea. Those are cheap too.
Yeah, that's another option we could put in there. I think, well,
Am I the
Commissioner
only one
Henry
doing
Gillis,
it right now?
yes, you are
I
the only
don't
one
know.
signed up, and you are the only
I
one
tried
with
to sign up.
experience right now. So tell us, how much litter did you have that you would have used the trash grabber for?
Well, my sign, okay, so this is a little related. My yard sign got stuck in the storm sewer. So, like, if I would have had a grabber, I could have pulled it back out. It was very annoying. I was not happy about it. It's mainly been leaves. Everything that I've pulled out so far has just been leaves. So, I mean, the dustpan I think is huge. I think reusable gloves are huge, and I think the bucket is good. Because, I mean, I don't think people are going to adopt them too far from their house, that if there's something that's not those things, that they can't just, like,
Yeah.
pick it up and take it home.
And I feel like if we did like a neon shirt over a safety vest would probably get used more for marketing it.
Yeah, they
than-
wear it around town, yeah.
Right, than actually using it. And then I just wasn't sure the stencil, like the spray painting, if someone ever decides to no longer adopt that drain, what happens to the spray painted stencil? I think that's a really cool idea.
I think those are very key points. So talking to Superior, they so the person that's currently in the position with Superior was inherited a very large quantity of shirts that became part of the startup kit because she was tired of having a very large amount of shirts.
Okay, yep.
They are looking actually at switching to vests because in Superior, but also here, how many months of the year are you wearing a jacket
Yep.
and your shirt is no longer visible
Yeah.
when you're out in traffic? Vests are a little more versatile. They're one size fits most. They
Yep.
can fit over most jackets and or a t-shirt if it's during the summer. So they are actually switching to vests. They're not sure if they're going to brand them at all or if it's just going to say like City of Superior Volunteer on the back or something like that, that they can then be used for different purposes because they do have a very volunteer-based parks program as well, that they can kind of split that pool with other people. But just a side note on the shirt versus vest thing.
Yeah, I think the vest is a good idea. Is the beautification committee, like the DPMC, does that work through that too? Because don't they wear vests? I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to picture
Wear
them.
vests. I can't remember if I think we supply them.
Yeah, because then that would be, that's an easy way
Do you
to.
have too many or not enough?
Yeah.
How long does it take typically to clean a storm drain?
Less than 5 minutes.
So are people actually going to put on a vest to do it, or are they just going to go do it?
Well,
when
it's
they
a
I
have-
did.
safety thing. I mean, it's a
At least
safety
apply
thing
it,
that we
yeah,
should
'cause someone
promote.
got hit and
Yeah.
we didn't have it.
Okay.
It's just,
I mean, if it's all in your bucket, it's really easy, right? Like you
Yeah.
grab your bucket and you're like, here are my gloves, here's my vest, here's
Yeah.
my little broom, I'm good
Yeah.
to go. Versus like having to like go into your garage and randomly grab that stuff. So
Wearing a vest
So-
every day, it does feel like a Superman cape. Like I can do anything. There's a little bit of a power to it. So
That might just be you, though.
I can,
Yeah.
I can walk out.
Not everybody's
I don't have to do anything
I
about
was
it.
gonna say, like, I don't even, like, you're supposed to wear it to walk at night. I don't take the time to put it on. I just,
I would just like to add for the recognition, I think one thing that would be really easy to do is to do it at a council meeting. Because
yeah.
we generally get more of an audience for that. I know people watch the broadcast on TV. And the other thing is that's a way to put that information in front of other council members.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
like that a lot.
Because I found out about things like the photo contest. They bring up the award winners here, different police activities where they recognize somebody, and just having an event at a council meeting kind of brings it up a level. So I think that would be
It's a good start.
a good first way to do that. Until we can build up to, like you said, a name on a plaque, and then we could have like a statue in the town
gonna be of
square.
me, you know
It's going to
that,
be
right?
you.
Yeah.
So this might be a segue, and if it is, please just let me know right off the bat. But signing up for this program, I did not find easy.
I mean, you and I talked about the form.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's asked you to pick the closest.
You just put in your address and then Betty follows up with you.
It doesn't seem to be worded that way. It basically asks you to choose, and it hindered me enough. Maybe it's just me, because I don't want people to be hindered, to send an email and ask Betty, where is this map? Because it mentions something about, yeah.
So I know the people that did sign up in writing at farmers market, I sent a follow-up with a map with address points, like here are your closest storm drains. And then once Emily signed up, I did reach out to her.
And we
Hey, what
talked
do you
about
think
the
we should
form, yeah.
change about it? But she had also received a map with a list of local locations. And she sees right by her house.
And we
like,
recorded a
there's
video
2
before
storm
I
drains
signed
right
up,
here.
so.
So should it say, provide your address and we will send a follow-up email with the closest drain? Because I would have been done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
really hindered me because I was like, I think there's a drain on my street, but I'm not going out there to check right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's 'cause I stopped too because it says storm drain location and there's the red star saying you have to answer, and I wasn't sure which one to pick. So I didn't know then what's the address of that location.
Could you type in closest?
It says nearest address point, storm drain
Yeah.
location nearest.
yeah.
I just was like gonna put my same address back in, but I wasn't sure. I'm cleaning them. I'm just not registered, so I'll admit I stopped too because
Yeah.
I didn't
Off
wanna
the
be
books,
idiot.
yeah.
I know, there's like
Yeah,
2
we
people I've
can-
talked to about it.
We can work on that. I guess it can be a little
Confusing.
confusing. Yeah, I guess what might just have to happen is that when people sign up, just like they did at farmers market, I just make a map that shows the locations with the addresses, and then
I
they
didn't
can
answer 'cause
email
I was
back and
trying
say
to be
which
helpful because
ones they want to sign up for, because
Could you
some
just,
people may want to adopt more than one.
yeah, could you just make it not,
A required
Mandatory.
field.
that required field?
Exactly.
That'd be like the easiest turn off, and then if they don't answer it, then it could be
perfect. Then
like a follow-up email where if they do put something in, I mean, you have to follow up one way or the other, but if it's blank, then you know that they have no clue. If they fill in their address, then you know, like, they just want
I could put a toggle button on it too, like, do you know the location of your closest storm
something like
drain?
that.
Yes, and then it could open a second thing that says to put the address in, or if they put no, then I can follow up.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
And in the description of that field, it said if you don't know, somebody from the city staff will contact you and give you some options. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
I can do
sounds
that.
great.
I know I have someone cleaning up a drain. They're like, I do it. And I'm like, can you sign up though, please?
Well, now with the incentive, right?
Well, that you get a whole welcome packet.
So, social media, it did go out on social media that we were offering the program, and somebody commented on it. I thought this was just what you were supposed to do as a homeowner.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Sign up. Then you follow up with
not
sign
terrible.
up.
Go ahead and sign up and receive the incentives
Get
for
a
doing
bucket.
this. That's
Right.
great.
But I couldn't say that because we hadn't talked about it yet.
We have incentives coming, we promise.
So I feel like I kind of like a combo of like the startup kit and then like some sort of additional recognition, like after a certain amount of cleans or a certain time frame, like just to incentivize them to keep going, not just sign up in the first place.
Yeah.
I feel like while the recognition event sounds really cool, it might be harder to do unless it's in collaboration with something else. And then I feel like that takes away the thing we're trying to promote.
Yeah, I guess.
Personally, that's just my opinion.
I like
I
the
think
common
that-
council.
Yeah, I
idea.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mayor
yeah, I do actually really like that.
I think the other option is,
The mayor's
along with the
there.
common council thing, is to see if there's like a volunteer day or a volunteer month or something like that we can do a city proclamation at.
Yeah.
And then right after the proclamation, do a recognition of volunteers that they would be invited to.
Yeah, I think the recognition should be
I mean, I'll organize
either
it.
right before September or part of the storm
Oh,
or
yeah, that
stormwater
week.
awareness.
That's a good idea.
With the incentives, I know we're not too far down the path of that. Would it be possible, instead of saying 12 cleanings a year, if you just do a total of 12 cleanings? Because I don't want to do 6 months in and then I miss July. And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, then I'm kind of out of it for the rest of this year. I know it's different to do the bookkeeping, but since it's just Emily that we're tracking, that's a fairly small
I've
sample.
cleaned mine 3 times already, but I've only submitted once.
Making me feel bad.
Let us know what park you want your statue at.
The middle of the giant roundabout right out here.
Commissioner West.
Overlooking the water.
Yep.
I think everything that Betty came up with touches on a greater idea, and like you said in Superior, maybe that they have a volunteer base for a lot of things. This kind of structure and tying it into events that are already going on in De Pere could be a way that we have other initiatives as well, like be the culture of volunteerism. And so I my mind's kind of going like, we start with this, but this kind of structure could go for any other initiative that
Yeah.
we've got going on.
No, I definitely I like that, because if we're trying to also get volunteer groups to maintain urban orchards or maintain the pollinator gardens or anything like that, this can be built on to try and get more volunteers. And if we do have a recognition event that's part of your garden or whatever,
Yeah.
I think it would add an extra draw to it. That, I mean, especially if people are already going to beer garden. Now,
Yeah.
hey, I was already ordering food while I was there, but now I get it at a discount or whatever
Get
the
free
case may
beer.
be that
Yeah.
we can work out.
Yeah.
Are we thinking about taking it as far as like a volunteer base? Do you want to volunteer with the Sustainability Commission of De Pere? Like,
Oh, I got
to
you.
think it needs-
support our initiatives? Do you want to sign up? Do you want to do that?
I think that's something we push at the farmer's market.
But even on this sign up, what if there's a little at the bottom, like, sign up for, put your name on the list if you want to be contacted for other initiatives or something.
Can't hurt.
I mean, we got to get people to sign up.
Yeah.
To talk to your friends.
Do we come up with like a recognition thing, kind of test the waters and see how appealing it is? I don't know. Personally,
How appealing is it, Emily?
I am award driven. That's part of my personality. I always want an award, and I would like recognition. I don't like it because then it's like the spotlight's on me, but also I want that little award to be like, look at me.
But the trophy's biodegradable, right?
Yeah.
You don't need like a metal chunk of something that's
I'm gonna send you a
gonna last
picture of my
forever.
roller derby awards.
Okay.
She has like a whole room of awards.
I think it's good. I think working with volunteers, like in past parts of my life, I think people like it. Like they like to be recognized for the work they're doing. So however we do that, like if it's literally I have to organize a happy hour, I will do that. You know what I mean? To make sure people are feeling, because then we don't have to put in any money and we're just doing it. But yeah, I think people like to be recognized for their work. So
And I
it's
think it helps
important.
create a community around what we're trying to do, right? Like if you're doing it with your family, it's a way to teach them that there are other people doing this too. Just kind of create that culture around it.
And there's other people out there in the community speaking about stuff, things like Clean Air Initiative
Yeah.
or all that. It's a lot easier when it's not just a few of us here. It's
Right.
you have a whole
Yeah.
group of people talking.
And with that idea, could we take individuals that say, okay, I want to do the no idling? They can just give us their email address and say, I make this pledge, or this is my commitment that I intend to do it.
Yep.
They can also be recognized. And it's
Exactly.
kind of building the mailing list, and then we're saying, okay, you're doing this. Now there's 4 other initiatives. Are you interested in more?
Yes.
And that can extend to the schools as well,
Right.
through our youth, in that youth could ask their parents or say, I want to, can we adopt a storm drain? Do you know what I mean? And that can be another way to get people as well.
You know, you make the case of, in the Sustainability Commission's case, is that, we do multiple little things, and that those accumulate into a really significant community action. And then we can maybe, as we do some of the other things that we're talking about, we also do big things or push the community to do big things. And the city departments have all done a lot of things, and that we've been part of working with them on that, thinking it through. So there's a good video case here that could be used at the farmer's market and things like this, or on our webpage, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anna, at high school, is there a volunteer hours requirement as part of graduation, or maybe through National Honor Society? Are they still required to volunteer a certain amount of time?
I'm not sure about NHS, but I'm a part of Key Club, so that's like what you do is volunteer. And then like I remember in middle school, you had to get out to Notre Dame Middle School, like in De Pere, and you had to get a certain amount of hours, and it was just like
Right.
part of like your grade, kind of, I guess. But in high school, there's no requirement, but it also a lot of kids do service hours because it looks really good on like college applications and
That's
stuff.
a army of volunteers out
Yeah.
there. Maybe not necessarily to throw out in the road for storm cleaning, but for urban orchards.
I think that's
Well,
definitely
with a
something that
parent,
Right.
People
yeah,
would
with
do.
parents.
you could like
And we
mention
can
to the
vouch.
schools, and like I know there's like numerous sign-ups like as part of Key Club that you can like sign up for just like different things around De Pere, like Green Bay, as a way to volunteer. So I think that's something that kids would also sign up as, because a lot of the spots get like filled up fast, and there's
that's
limited
like
opportunities.
you can do
to-
it like at your house and
Yeah.
just do it.
right.
I was going to mention too, there's this girl I went to high school with who I don't really talk to, but I still am friends with her on Facebook. She started this group called the Litter Bugs of Green Bay.
Yeah.
And they go around with their kids, and they have a Facebook group, and they like just clean up like parks and different areas, and they do a lot of it in De Pere. So that makes me wonder, like, are there a lot of other organizations out there, or just like groups of people that are already doing these types of things that we can either bring along or get messages
Team with
to,
them.
or yeah.
Yeah, the Foxwell Watershed does a cleanup in April every year along the banks of the Fox. I participated in that a couple different times.
Same.
You're cleaning up a lot of cigarette butts, but
Tons.
other things also.
So many.
Has to be cleaned.
Maybe they would be willing to reach out to their DPR members or put something in a
Yes.
Oh, I think
email or
they probably would share on their social media. I think if we asked them to say, like, the city of De Pere is starting this program, I think their programs would share that. Don't you think? Like, I feel like Noosk would be interested in sharing that as a highlight for De Pere, or no?
It would turn into us presenting, I think, at
Oh, I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Like, I love presenting at conferences, so
Yeah,
I
fine.
know the next one I'm out of town for. So you have to
let's
do that
hold
one.
off on that.
There is the yearly Land and Water Conference,
Mm.
and that is held right downtown, and I think that's coming up in March. That would be another good one.
I am going to talk. That's a good suggestion. I am a part of a program that has a conference that the same week of the Foxwolf. Otherwise, I would be pushing for us to be there this year. That I'm going to present about this at. That, like, we talk about water quality and improving water quality, and all they talk about are like the symptom of like fixing the plants in the lake. And we're trying to now, as a city, do something to improve like blue-green algae blooms through doing this project. So I'm gonna get our word out there to some people in Chicago.
So, any other discussion on the
Yes.
incentive program?
Yeah.
I have two things.
Okay.
So there was a location I did see, and I did send it to Emily outside of the meeting, and I sent it to Chase as well, and he said, that looks like a lot of work. There are school kits that they make, so it's like for a classroom, they get 20 vests, 20 sets of
Ooh,
gloves.
okay.
Like, you get enough for your classroom to go out and do it, so whether it's like a science teacher or whatever, that they keep it at their classroom and they go out once a week or whatever it is. So that was another option. I didn't put it as an incentive because it's not really an incentive, it's just a side tangent. And then there is also a group that I went to a conference with called the Wisconsin Women in Conservation.
It's a good group.
And they have a Green Bay area section. So that's another option that we may be able to partner with them. Granted, it's very women only.
Yeah.
Sorry, gentlemen, but it's just another avenue for us to look into as far as partnering as well.
Just
Yeah.
call yourself.
All right.
Do we need to make motions on this?
No, not necessarily. It's just if you wanted to formally approve something, you have that ability. We left that open for possible action. But it's up to the commission.
I'm kind of thinking it's getting my mind working about maybe submitting more ideas of different incentives that could apply to other initiatives too. And maybe we have like an incentive structure that we can come back to later.
I don't know if it would be like ideal for like schools like to have like their classes go down, because I know like I don't think like high schoolers would really like, I don't think the teachers would take up that, but more like middle schoolers. But also like looking at the bigger middle schools and stuff, I don't think it's like reasonable for their like teachers to take out like 30 kids
Yeah.
to clean storm drains, and I think it'd be like a problem. But like there's also like other programs, like I know I did Girl Scouts when I was little, and like could we like look into those programs?
That's a better
as
one,
well?
yeah.
Because I know like that's like the stuff we used to do. We used to go to like greenhouses or stuff like that to
Yeah.
do just stuff for the community.
That's a good idea.
Great input.
So I do want us to do this startup kit.
Okay.
So do I have to make a motion for that?
Do we have a budget for this stuff?
We
Yes.
have money.
10,000 for sustainable initiatives is the first one that comes to mind. And then the potential to roll over that 10,000 on top of next year's 10,000.
Okay.
And we,
Next year's 12.
I don't know if we can like
12 for composting, 10
Oh, okay,
for
okay.
sustainable initiative.
Thank you.
So if you did a bucket,
Yeah, the welcome packet, I think, is,
Yeah, I think that.
I'm just trying to think of what you all need for that startup kit, and then what does that number roll up to be?
I mean, I think she's got it in here.
yeah, she's got it itemized.
Yeah, but do we need all of this?
Yes.
Do we need the paper cleanup form?
No.
So that is one thing that Superior said. So they have a digital form, but they also have paper forms. And then they also provide envelopes, stamped envelopes to send them in.
But he's got too much time.
But they said they get a lot better
Yeah.
response from the paper ones that the resident can just take out with them and fill it out while they're there.
Oh,
And then it's stamped and
and
everything,
ready
they
to
just send
go.
it back in. So she did comment that she does get a lot better response on reporting on a paper copy.
That's fair. The pictures, I like being able to send pictures in when we do this, but that, like, I think the issue that you had with my pictures is going to continue. Like that, it's hard to get them from your phone either into that form. I guess I could just fill it out, but like I took my phone and I Bluetooth pictures over and it changed the format, and then Betty couldn't see them.
Yeah.
So like,
So I think Chase tried it at work, and if you actually plug into your computer to download, to upload them
That.
or transfer them, then it
yeah,
works.
then it
But
changed
if
it,
you,
I got you.
if you,
Why
If
can't
I
they
try to be
just
too
email
smart.
them instead of
We
having it
have a
somewhere.
cap internally at 15 megabytes. So
Gotcha.
standard picture on my end is 5, so you get capped at 2 or 3 and it then gets
Yeah,
buried.
it's just like a weird thing that we can.
I
figure
say we
out.
start with what is listed here, just to get this up and running, and then maybe we can adjust it, change it, edit
Yeah.
it, add to it,
Yeah, I like that.
future meetings.
Can we do like a sticker or this is just because I love the proud parent thing. It's my own plug, so I just like having the sticker or something like that.
I like the idea of the sticker on the bucket. Because I don't think, like, as much as I like bumper stickers, I don't think people are going to put bumper stickers on their car. You know what I mean? Like,
I would, but my husband said no to that.
see?
Window thing, though.
Yeah, window cling's different.
Can you give them a sticker and let them do what they want with it? So if they put it on the bucket, or like people put stickers on their laptops or their water bottles, or
Exactly.
Do you wanna, are you making a
Could I
motion?
add
Lily,
one
or
more thing to the
I think.
I haven't made one yet.
I think there's
really.
one in the works. I think
Yeah.
She's getting
Rachel's
close.
still this.
on whatever you send, if there's like a little sheet in the bucket stating the reporting, you had mentioned that it is good for, what is it, the MS4, or I forgot what it's.
Correct. We'll have a quantitative amount to report on our MS4 permitting with the DNR.
Yeah, so maybe people know there's like a real deliverable for them reporting what they're doing. Just
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
Put that in the welcome packet.
As well as the education and outreach that goes with this.
Okay. So I would like to make a motion to create the startup kit for the Adopt a Drain program as listed in this document. And then I would like volunteers to be recognized at a council meeting that fits the schedule.
We have a second.
I would second that emotion.
Any discussion of the motion? Okay. Commissioner Black,
Aye.
Commissioner Henry Gillis,
Aye.
Commissioner Lawton,
Aye.
Commissioner Slavin,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Schindel,
Aye.
Commissioner Weber,
Aye.
Alderperson Quigley.
Aye.
To follow up on this, your sign isn't an active obstruction that I got to address, is it, in your inlet?
Oh, I took it out.
Did you?
Sorry. I know,
How'd
don't
you do
look at me
that?
like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Very careful.
Those grabber hands are really convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, moving on to our last item, adopt a drain PSO video review.
Oh my God, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, this is terrifying.
Is it on YouTube yet?
Nope. I didn't put it out until we had a chance to see.
Okay, because I want to share it. Like, I have to make a newsletter for Team Wisconsin, and I want to put it in there and be like, look it, we have, a presence in De Pere.
It's so bright in here.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know that
This
guy.
is my...
Oh, you've got your vest on.
Oh, we...
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it really
You
does.
too.
Hi, we're here today to talk about the City of De Pere's Adopt a Drain program. My name is John Quigley. I'm an alderperson and proudly serving the City of De Pere. Recently, we've introduced a program which encourages citizens to adopt a local storm drain, and this does a couple of important things. By clearing away the debris and making sure that it works properly, we help to prevent localized flooding. It also helps the drain to work efficiently, and of course we want to keep any debris and anything we can out of the waterway, because that helps to protect local waterways. I'm joined by my friend Emily, who's also a member of De Pere's Sustainability Commission. As you can see, we've got some cool gear on. If you have a vest like this, it's great. Otherwise, just something so that you are visible, so that if you're working out near the street.
You don't want to get hit by a car. If you don't have a vest, we recommend getting one. Otherwise, you can make sure you're facing up towards traffic so you can see any cars coming towards you.
And lastly, if there's two of you involved, you or somebody else in the household, you can have one person that just kind of is standing watch or keeping an eye on traffic as it approaches.
Yep, you also want to make sure you're wearing gloves when you are cleaning the storm drain, so you don't have to touch any of the things in the storm drain, or if there's anything sharp, you might not get hurt.
Okay, and lastly, we're going to come down here. It helps to have something to collect any of the matter, so you can have a bucket like this or a bag, something. There's also a broom over here, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
The big point is you do not want to take the things from the storm drain and put them on the curb. We're trying to get rid of them and put them in trash cans or recycling cans.
And please never attempt to lift up the storm drain. So we're just clearing the stuff that's around it. You can see on this one, there's a couple of recyclable items. So I'm going to grab these and get them into a proper recycling container.
Okay. Now, before we use a broom, we're going to first start by removing all of the trash that is in the storm drain. So you're just going to use your hands to pick up
If possible, try not to have anything fall in. So I'm using my fingers to kind of lift it up and lift towards me.
Got almost a full bucket load's worth of stuff out of this storm drain. Okay.
As you can see, we've collected a lot of stuff here. You will have an opportunity to register with the city's website, and we want you to tell us how frequently you've cleaned the storm drain, and also you can report back how much organic matter you pulled out of that. So this is a 5-gallon pail. You can see we're about 80% full, so I'd call that 4 gallons of stuff. And we don't want to throw this into the trash, but if you can either take it to the city's compost site or put it in your home composter, obviously take care of this stuff.
All right, the last step of cleaning your storm drain is sweeping up kind of around the storm drain to get anything out that might still flow in. So we're just gonna use this to sweep up a little bit. I'm gonna sweep this side too.
The other advantage of sweeping is that when the next rainstorm comes through, obviously we don't want to push things back into there. It's unusual that you would get items like this, but if they're in good shape and you can put them into your local recycle container, that would be good. You might also find little bits of paper or other things like that that can go into the trash. But again, most of the organic material, we want to try not to let that get into the landfill, so if you can compost it one way or another. Thank you very much for watching today. If you have any questions, you can probably find the answers on the De Pere website. If not, please give us a call, ask for somebody on our Sustainability Commission. Thanks very much.
Take a tip from Just the Hip, only snow and rain down the storm drain.
I would like to make a motion.
Unfortunately, this is not an action item.
Okay, well, we're moving on to future agenda items.
Volumes. Sorry, Jamie.
Jamie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ears. Oh, goodness.
Can we,
So ultimately, once we give Steven the approval, he'll put them on the city's YouTube channel, and then from YouTube they'll go to Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platforms they choose to, but we can also put a link on the Sustainability Commission webpage.
Yeah.
Or on the Adopt a Drain webpage.
and can I make a request that once it's live, can you also send an email to everybody on the commission with a link to? Yep. Share it with your own networks or however you want to do
Oh,
that.
I'm going to. That hit part took so long.
That was the best part because it added that little, I loved it.
He had a crash pad, just so you guys know.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so any other discussion or comment on the video? And do we need to, are we taking a vote on it or? No, it's done.
No action on it, it's just here's what we've got.
Now you know.
Sounds good. Are there any other future agenda items?
I would say to maybe start brainstorming like a recognition, not a recognition, that was already said, but like a incentive scheme that could be used for multiple initiatives.
All right, any other agenda items?
Before we adjourn, Chase, is the plan not to have a December meeting at this time?
Correct, unless there's any opposed.
I'm just gonna miss you guys.
See you in the new year.
All right, then motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, meeting adjourned.